Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is this dialogue from Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation. Ethiopia's pursuit of fair and practical access to sea outlet becomes one of the most important economic and strategic discussion points of our time. A quest which speaks for its connectivity, security, sovereignty, and shared regional development. To help us unpack this complex issue from different perspectives, I'm honored to be joined by Mr. Francois Joubert, Chief Executive Officer of YCF Manning, a company known for its leadership in strategic investment and infrastructure development across Africa. I'm your host, Gzacho Derb. Do stay with us. Mr. Francois Joubert, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Please do take us through what YCF Manning is all about, because you have a close connection and history with Ethiopia's Maritime and with Ethiopia as well.
That's it. So YCF Manning actually is involved in the maritime sector here in Ethiopia through the Ethiopia Maritime Training Institute, where we train engineers to sail on vessels globally. In fact, currently we have more than 1,000 seafarers at sea right now, out of a total of 2,600 people that we've trained. And these engineers have established themselves as some of the best in the world. And in fact, many people, when we tell them that we've got a maritime engineers program, say, but you're landlocked. And our answer is always, well, maybe landlocked, but not sea blind. We've got a very successful maritime program here in Ethiopia. These seafarers currently sail on some of the biggest global shipping lines across the world. So the program here is all about training of engineers and placing them at sea globally. That's the program in essence. We fall under the Ministry of Transport and the Ethiopia Maritime Authority, who through their Blue Economy strategy is looking at a number of developments, including the maritime supply of crewing to the world.
Well, how YCF Manning is working with Ethiopia's Maritime Training Institute and Ethiopia's Maritime Authority?
We fall under the Ministry of Transport and Maritime Authority, the Ethiopian Maritime Authority. Ethiopian Maritime Authority regulates the industry and also helps us to develop the market here in Ethiopia further. You know, we've got a dream in the country to become one of the top 5 crewing supplies in the world, and also a dream to put 40,000 seafarers at sea from the. We've got an estimated, if you take Ethiopia Shipping Lines, if you take Babugaya Training Center and ourselves, most probably there's about 7,000 seafarers out there from Ethiopia, which is a significant number.
How Ethiopia then contributes in this regard, be it to Africa or to the global at large?
Well, we contribute to ourselves, first of all. These remittances that our seafarers bring back from an economic perspective is quite significant. So it allows the country to benefit. In terms of the rest of Africa, if you look at how we can benefit or are benefiting, you know, we recently had the Africa Maritime Conference, where we brought training centers from across the continent, maritime authorities from across the continent, global shipping lines, all coming together with one objective. How can we make Africa the top global crewing place in the world? Now, just to put that in perspective, there's 1.9 million seafarers at sea right now, of which less than 4% is from Africa. Now, this is a very low number for a population of 1.2 billion across the continent. Ethiopia has a number of benefits in this environment. Number one is we've got a high density of diplomatic institutes, such as the embassies, the home of the Africa Union. Number two is we've got Ethiopia Airlines that makes it easy to travel. Number three, we've got English education, and we've got some very good engineers coming out of the system. So we add a lot of value.
Okay. What do other countries learn from Ethiopia, and vice versa? What Ethiopia can learn from others?
Well, I think we can actually, for this sake, we can actually teach a lot of what we've learned here in terms of what a success factor is, in terms of development of a program like the one providing seafarers to the world. We have a lot of value to add. In the ecosystem that we created here between Minister of Transport, Maritime Authority, Minister of Education, Minister of Labour, Minister of Finance, the university itself at Bardar University, the seafarers themselves. We created an ecosystem that is balanced and is built for growth, built for sustainable growth into the future. What we can learn from other countries, I suppose, is that there is an active approach to females. We've got 28 females that came into the program now, but I think here we're kind of the leader on the continent right now.
What unique features can we observe from Ethiopia's perspective in terms of maritime or in terms of cadets recruiting or in terms of engineers, especially in this regard?
Yes. So we build a reputation, our seafarers build a reputation as being some of the best engineers in the world. We integrate easily with other cultures on vessel. We are extremely dedicated, our people are extremely focused. So on a vessel where a captain requires diligence, he requires well-trained people, our people are some of the best in the world.
Let's put this in perspective. There are many landlocked countries probably, but goods can move from one country to the other country or from one continent to another continent, which is in terms of your career or your experience. Goods travel across the globe, not probably on land, but sea is the most important commodity transporting system. How can you see those landlocked countries be affected because of the fact that they are no access to or have no any access to the sea?
Any logistical expert will tell you that time is of the essence. So any time shortening that you can find in the route to a client from the source of the product is always advisable. So that's number one. Number two is you want as little friction points as possible. And number three, sea travel is cheaper than air travel in terms of cargo. There's some cargo that you just can't put on a plane. So there's a number of benefits when you can shorten the logistic chain and be in control of the logistic chain from source to end.
Ethiopia is a landlocked country, but not a sea blind, as you have said. Ethiopia is none of that, but 35 years ago, Ethiopia had naval base and also sea access as well. At that time, there are many engineers in this regard at that time. But currently, Ethiopia is claiming sea access. How do you see in terms of development in this regard?
So look, if you have a port, for our program it would be good. You can do additional training, you can do additional courses that you can do. A lot of logistics training would become applicable. So there's a number of maritime benefits in having that, and then there's logistic benefits in terms of shortening.
What about the port development? Any country which has or was a port, how do you see the port development at continental level because of the evolving nature of trade and commerce today?
So port development is an interesting one. I'm not a subject expert on the matter. But when you look at port development across the continent, you see a lot of investment currently in ports. The world is becoming smaller. Trade is shifting. There's a big drive for Africa trade specifically. We are a continent that holds significant value and growth for the future. So that's why you see so much port interest as well, not just here, but also around the continent. You see a lot of major development in terms of port development, port as well as rail, anything to shorten the logistics chain.
Ethiopia's economy is booming. It needs an outlet, or it needs a commerce or market. But this market also be more accessible through sea. How do you see Ethiopia's booming economy and its accessibility to the global market in terms of sea transportation?
That's it. So logic would say that it would be a good thing. You're right. Ethiopia is a very vibrant economy. We can see it with all of the construction taking place. We see a lot of activity from the different investment commission, Ethiopia Investment Holdings. We see a lot of names actively developing. We constantly see on all of the media outlets all of the investment coming here and people getting involved in Ethiopia. It's a vibrant market. So any vibrant market naturally would like to expand their market significantly. I think Ethiopia is well poised for that, and anything done to shorten the route, to the market would be good for logistics.
What role can media and the diplomatic efforts or public diplomacy can play to enhance, to give a leverage for Ethiopia's position in this regard, to make its goods accessible to the global market?
You know, in policy definition, there's always the role of diplomats. The media always plays a role in getting the right message out to whoever their readers or watchers or listeners are. So I think that everybody plays a role in the success of maritime programs. In our case, it's a training program. We have logistic programs in the countries. There's a big development in terms of the Minister of Transport and the Maritime Authority for logistics. So each party plays a crucial role. I don't think there's a one solution fits all. I think all of us adds value somehow in the value chain of maritime. And there's some good plans on the table in terms of the development of the market here in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia has recently inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and also recently inaugurated the Kalu urea plant. How do you see Ethiopia's economy in this regard and its opportunity for others to invest here in Ethiopia?
You know, all CEOs keep an eye on the economics happening in a country. I'm being one of them. I think that if I look at all of the announcements made on LinkedIn and some of the media outlets, there's a lot of things happening in Ethiopia. There's a lot of great programs that some is in the future, some are more concrete than others, but I think each one of them adds economic value.
How do you see Africa's development trajectory and its access to the global market, where Africa's Agenda 2063 aims and dreams to see a prosperous continent, a prosperous Africa, where goods and the commerce can freely transport across the continent and even beyond? How do you see in this regard the integration of African commerce?
Interesting question. You know, there's a lot of initiatives happening across the continent in terms of intra-Africa trade, in terms of development of markets beyond our traditional markets. So economically, if you look at it, we're at a good trajectory. You know, we've got a lot of potential in our continent and we've been unlocking it. We don't realize it, but we've been unlocking it over several decades now. And we are still on a growth trajectory. I foresee that in the next decade and beyond, that trade with the rest of the world would significantly increase. The conference was put together to establish Ethiopia as a central point for maritime discussion. That's the purpose of the conference. If we can get the global shipping world to every year know that maritime discussions happens here in Ethiopia, it's easy to travel to us. We've got the airline. We've got some of the best conference facilities across the continent. We've got some of the highest quality facilities in terms of even our suppliers here. So if you look at that, if we can bring the world together every year to Addis Ababa to come have maritime discussions. This year, the theme was, how do we become a top global crewing supply from the continent? Next year, it could be a different subject. But the dream is to have it every year. And the dream is not just to have the conference. The dream is to have a whole week and possibly a maritime month, you know, where, absolutely, where we can get suppliers besides the conference coming together for other subjects as well.
How do you see Addis Ababa's hospitality in terms of conference tourism?
It's fantastic. I mean, we had ours. It was on international quality level. All of our participants that came to the conference was, the only word they had was, wow.
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 They get amazed.
Absolutely. So it's not just me, you know. This program is supported by the Minister of Transport and the Maritime Authority. Now, together, we have this dream to say, but we can make Addis Ababa the central get-together place for all things maritime.
This is really fantastic and amazing, because I never thought that YCF is doing such an amazing job in Ethiopia, in collaboration with Ministry of Transport and Logistics and also Ethiopia's Maritime Authority. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. So you are putting your legacy here. So this is a lived witness that you are talking to us, really. Thank you so much. Mr. Francois Joubert, Chief Executive Officer of YCF Manning Group, thank you for sharing us your perspectives and your ideas as well. Ladies and gentlemen, by this we come to the end of today's show. You can follow us on different social media platforms of Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation. Until we met with another edition of Addis Dialogue.